Fala família, beleza? Seja bem-vindo ao Giro MMA. Aqui você encontra notícias, entrevistas, tudo que rola no mundo do UFC. Antes do vídeo, peço apenas que você deixe esse like, isso me ajuda muito e me motiva a continuar meu trabalho. E também que você se inscreva aqui no canal para você ficar por dentro de todo o conteúdo. Você só sai ganhando. Então deixa o like, se inscreva e bora pro vídeo.
Much bigger at 185. It's like you and guys like POATAN, which POATAN doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Like I was always like, how the fuck are you 185?
Man, when I look at, when I look at him, like it's so weird. We've seen each other so many times. There's no head nod. There's no respect. There's no like, even him, like, man, I think a lot of guys are overrated in this fucking sport.
You think that guy's overrated?
I mean, look, I don't think I think getting hit by him isn't overrated, right? But he's very stiff and he's got that off switch. He's got that off switch.
Well, he definitely does
clipped
at
him
85.
Yeah, at 85. I don't know about 205.
I think that is a big part of the weight cut. I think his weight cut is borderline dangerous. I would try to figure out a way to stop weight cutting. I would try to figure out a way to get fighters to fight. I think almost killing yourself 24 hours before you fight in the cage is insane. Almost killing yourself by dehydration is insane. I think they should figure out what guys actually weigh when they are low body fat, hydrated, and say, this is your weight class.
And this happens because there's not enough weight classes.
Right. And don't you think like they could, instead of having fights scheduled at 155 and 170 and 185, what about more catch weight fights? What about more guys fighting at what their natural weight is?
I don't understand why they don't do catch weight fights, because there's so many like interesting matchups.
Yeah.
Like, one of them was always the GSP versus Anderson Silva.
Mm-hmm. But Silva's losing weight to get to 185.
Yeah.
And GSP, when he went up to fight 185, when he fought Bisping, he had to put a bunch of weight on. It was a struggle for him. He was eating like 6 times a day. He got sick. He was almost like throwing up all the time. He's like, he's trying to eat so much food just to maintain the mass. I think that those fights are exciting, like super fights where guys go up a weight class or down a weight class. But I think the real way to do this is to reshape the sport where you cut what I call sanctioned cheating out. Everybody's doing it. There's nothing wrong with doing it. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that you don't really weigh 185, but you fight at 185 pounds. Like when I interview you and you're 185, I'm like, how? When I interview Drekas, I'm like, how? How are you 185? It doesn't make any sense. You're not 185. You're
Stepped on the
fucking
scale, 185.
Pereira's fucking you.